find us here on the Facebook, which is why we do this.
All right. It should be up.
And I think it is. Let's see. I'll tell you in a second.
And here's another thing.
What's that?
Our group says that it's sending the data. I don't know if it's going to connect, but it's showing that it's working.
I hope so.
That would be nice.
I got Annette Travato likes the real. Let's see.
Yeah, yours is working and YouTube is up, but our group isn't.
Well, I'm just trying to go to the Facebook and wait.
Yeah, Facebook's up.
Yeah, but I don't see it on mine yet. Let's see.
No.
I don't. Oh, wait. Maybe it's got a. There's so much craziness on my.
I see it. We're live.
Am I? I don't see it yet.
On your page.
Am I?
Oh, wait a sec. Well, it says is live now.
Facebook.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, Facebook.
All right.
See it. We're live. There you go.
There it is. I see. I figured out how to do it. See, it just takes a little bit of time.
This is why we're not on yet. This is why we are just messing around.
I stay caffeinated.
Yeah, we're just messing around, people. Hey, Owen.
Well, we got a lot of messing around to do tonight. Hope everybody's ready for this.
Buckle in, strap in, get ready for the ride of your life.
Oh boy!
No, we'll be gentle. We'll be gentle.
We're noticing that the audience we got to be a little bit gentle with. A little bit.
Yeah. Oh, hello, sacred shirtless shit. Is that supposed to? I thought it was shirtless.
Oh yeah, the shitless pod, the scared shitless podcast. What was that? What's good, real talkers? You're good. Don't be scared. We're fun.
That's Mike. That's Mike. Hi, Mike.
Hi, Mike. Mike, what's up, Mike?
That is the man that I went out with last night and the night before.
Mike? The shitless podcast?
Yeah.
Well, now I know why he's scared.
Oh, great. Thanks a lot, Chris.
That was a good thing. It wasn't a bad thing.
Oh, was it a good thing?
But I can't believe you disclosed his name.
Oh, oops. Sorry, Mike. Well,
that's out of the bag now.
Oops. Should I edit this out, Mike? Are you scared now?
Listen, Mike, there's 100 million Mikes in the world, you know?
Yeah, exactly. I didn't say where he lives.
Yeah, that's all right. Listen.
Should I?
We can tell where he lives?
I'm kidding.
I know, Mike, I know where you live.
I could make things very uncomfortable.
So it looks like I'm going to see how many people come onto the Facebook. It's live, so, I'm just going to glance now at the comments. Oh, comments.
Well, hopefully they come. You know what I said it on the promo for the group, but you didn't say it. And I was going to interrupt you again, but it was just too much. We need to keep reminding them that if they want to chat, it's way better for us if they go to the YouTube channel.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm trying to play around with this now to see if any comments come up. It's weird because the iPad and the Facebook on the phone and everything works differently. Yeah.
It's a common name. No worries. It is.
That's right. Mikey Mike.
But I'll tell you this. That's not common. And Chris, you will appreciate this. This man has a voice. Oh my gosh.
He's got a lot of what?
He's got a voice. Singing.
Oh yeah?
Wow. He's
Mike, can you sing Non Dimenticar?
I don't know what that is.
That's what we want to hear.
Hey, he lived in Naples for 2 years.
Singing? In where? Naples?
In Italy for 2 years, yeah.
Oh, nice. So then he can sing Non Dimenticar.
And he lived in New Jersey. Okay, I'm giving away too much information about this dude. What is wrong with me? Okay,
I'm just letting you roll. I'm letting you dig the grave that I'm going to have to put the dirt on top of.
And I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, man who will not be named anymore.
If all of a sudden the Scared Shitless podcast disappears, we'll know.
We got to have Mike on the show. That'll just be the nail in the coffin.
We're going to definitely have some real guests on. Real guests on the Real Talk. How you doing, Owen? Owen's in the house.
I said hi to Owen. He didn't say hi to me. Whatever.
He's mad.
He's mad.
Maybe he went to the back house to take a pishad.
He's all caffeinated on your caffeine coffee, and he's
Yeah.
like,
Oh, and you never really told me. You never sent me a message.
he said last week that it was really good.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I know we talked, but I wanted to know because I want to send it to the to the boss. I want to make sure it's good.
To the master roaster.
The master roaster.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, what, Owen? Okay, the coffee's good. Okay, I didn't say hi to you, Christine. Okay, I'm mad at Christine. Oh, okay, what?
Anything. Something.
All of the above?
Oh, boy.
It's going to be a good one.
We got a lot of venting tonight about vetting.
Vetting. Oh, Chris. It's not time yet. Keep it under your hat.
Something new. At least 2 cups a day. That a boy. The more cups you have a day, the more likely you are to order in every way.
Oh, hey, wait a minute. You just appropriated that. You plagiarized that. That's
did.
Folgers.
No, I did not. I
way
did not. Absolutely
hey,
not. First of all,
somebody-
how dare you say another coffee company while we got this one sponsored?
Say it again. Say it again.
I said, if you're having at least 2 cups a day, you're more likely to order in every way.
There is something about the end of that sounds just like
I'm
those
just good at
Folgers
that
commercials.
And that's my job, to make you believe it. And
There is just something about the way that you say that's totally sounds. It reminds me of those Folgers commercials. I was telling the Scared Shitless podcast. I was telling him the other day. He wanted like, what makes me cry? One of the things that could make me cry is those Folgers commercials, where you see the pot percolating and it's snowing outside and the mom comes shuffling down the stairs and the son comes home and he puts his bags down and he's, see, I get chills just thinking about it.
Beach Buddha coffee, at least 2 cups a day, most likely to order another way. Well, I can't remember what I said. See?
Somebody help me here. Somebody help me here. It sounded a lot like the coffee I won't name. Exactly. I have water.
Listen, if I had Mr. Folger's money, this podcast would be really funny because we'd be all over the place. We'd be forget it.
I think the Mr. Folger's money is a Mrs. I think she is an heiress to the Folgers empire. Maybe. I think so.
I have to look that up.
Or maybe she was the one that Manson got. She might be the one that Manson got. So I don't know who's ahead of it now. Yeah.
Wow. Interesting.
I want to call him Mike. Maybe I say SSP. Should I call him SSP? Hey, SSP. Or can I say the name? Because this is becoming difficult. I keep wanting to say something to you.
Why don't you say, hey, shitless?
I don't wanna.
Oh.
I don't wanna. I don't want to say that to him. He might spank me. Oh.
She might like it.
I know. Oh, so I should do it.
This is a family show.
Not yet. We still got 5 minutes.
That's right. That's right. Oh, man.
This is the pre-show. Anything can happen.
Oh, God. So Owen's having 2 cups a day. That means he's going to order again soon. That's a beautiful thing.
I haven't got mine yet, so.
Mikey Shitless is having some, just say Mike or Shitless.
I'm not saying shitless, okay? So it's Mike it is. Chris will say shitless because that's Chris.
That's a good thing. Mike, you seem all right, Mike.
He's all right. He's all right. He's all right. Say it like New Jersey. He's a New Jersey kid.
I did. I said, Mike, you seem all right, brother. You seem all right, Mike. Oh, so there's a certain way I got to say it?
No, that was it. I was just reiterating. I wanted to say he's a New Jersey kid.
He's a New Jersey kid.
I wasn't sure you heard me say it earlier because I got all.
I did. Because then you clammed up. You're like, I'm saying too much about this guy. So you think I don't listen to you?
No, I know you don't listen to me all the time. We all know that you don't listen all the time.
Oh, that's not true. That's not, well, it depends on how you're talking, what you're talking about. Careful.
What does that mean?
I don't know. You're saying we all know I don't listen to you.
Yeah, the women even mentioned it. I literally got an email asking me to tell you to stop paying attention to your phone and start paying attention to me.
I did. I was looking at the phone.
I know, but my point is that is the proof.
But the technology was here. All I had to do was look at the screen and tell them, talk to their face versus look at the phone. I didn't know. It's gonna be one of those nights, shitless.
He says Seaside Heights.
Oh, so you were my neighbor, literally. Mikey,
Yeah.
do we know each other? When were you over there?
I think he
Why do
left
I
in
feel
the.
like, why do I
I
feel
think
like
he
I know
left
this
in
guy?
mid 2000s.
It's mid 2000s.
He should say
Maybe.
what high school he went to. Then that might narrow it down.
Don't even bother saying that, Mike.
He could private message you.
Yeah, he can private message me, right?
I don't know. He's been doxxed before, so the guy is he's tough. He's used to this shit.
He's us, huh?
We're small potatoes. He's not worried about our audience, I don't think.
Annette Travato's listening to us right now. We got about 20 viewers going on. One comment. Let me see. Now I got to figure out how to get these comments on. This is a problem. I want to be able to see. I want to be able to see the comments on Facebook, but I see that they comment. I got them, I think.
Okay.
Joyzy boy, Denise is on. Denise, it's nice to see you. Okay, so I got to figure this out. Actually, it doesn't even matter. I can do it this way because I don't need to see the whole screen. That's why we do this a little earlier. Okay. So we got one comment. Denise. All right, Denise. Denise has married life. Same as it was before because it's like almost, So,
wait. Are you saying it's boring?
Huh?
Are you saying it's boring? Because you said, how's married life? Same as it was
No, it's
before.
the same thing as it was because they were living together. They've been together 15 years. Now they're just in matrimony.
So you are saying it's boring?
Yeah. Hello, Kathy. Kathy Rotel is in the house. Nice to see you, Kathy.
Hi, Kathy.
And that's in the house. So any of you guys that are on Facebook, okay? I'm not turning my head to Facebook. I'm looking right at you. Go on to YouTube. YouTube with Unfiltered Real Talk with Christine, and you can join the party live with us, and you can comment, and you can still see us. You can still stay on Facebook. Just turn your volume down or whatever, and you'll be able to see back and forth. Hit that little bell. That little bell will give you notifications. Hit the subscribe, and you're in. So,
and there is a link on our group page if that makes it easier.
There's a link on the group, and then they can group chat with us too. All right, we got 1 minute. We got 1 minute to go.
1 minute, and the bomb drops.
You dropped the bomb on me. Christine, you're one of the funnest, hardest people to read sometimes.
Oh, is that a compliment?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Well, funnest, hardest.
Yes.
Explain.
I will.
You're going to wait till we're on, right?
Till we're on. Till we're ready.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. No problem.
So let's have a moment of silence because it's 7:00.
All right.
Decompress.
Welcome. Oops. You stepped all over me.
I did not. I'm sorry.
I did this, and then they were gone, and it was all right. Welcome back to Unfiltered Real Talk with Christine and Chris. We are happy that you're here. Another Tuesday has arrived. Yay! I only have to wait 1 day, and I get to talk to you guys again. So we get to talk to you guys again. I like Tuesdays. I like them. How are you, Chris?
I love Tuesdays. You know why I love Tuesdays?
Why? Because you have coffee?
Because I'm with you. Because I'm with you on Tuesday. I know I get to see you next Tuesday, and that's a beautiful thing.
Uh-huh.
So, no,
considering
really,
you get to see me Thursday, guess what? See you next Thursday works too.
It does.
Yeah.
So we got that whole thing down. It's great. Life is good. I'm happy. We talk all the time, though, and I love it. You're very hard to read and understand sometimes.
Wait, what? Understand?
Well, before I go anywhere, this portion of the show is sponsored by Beach Buddha Coffee, the best roast from coast to coast, beachbuddhacoffee.com. I need to stay caffeinated because I need to follow Christine. Because if you heard our conversation yesterday, thank God I was in a bar having a Bloody Mary with a dear friend. I don't know how I would have interpolated it. Cheers.
Interpolated. That gives you an idea, guys. Maybe whatever's in that cup is not coffee. All right. I'm just saying.
So it got to the point where we had to voice text so you can hear the conversation because I'm looking at the text and I'm saying, huh?
Guys, a sober mind was the only one that could read it. That's all I got to say.
No, your mind is the only mind that can read it because even the person next to me didn't understand what you were saying.
She was drunk too. Come on.
It was a day of vacation.
Dawn's not here, right?
I don't know. I don't know.
I haven't
She
even
won't
met
chime
her,
in. She
and
might
I'm
listen. She
disparaging
won't
her.
chime in. I don't know.
All right, Chris, I have a question. So I was thinking about our topic last week about compatibility, and I was wondering about the process, the vetting process of finding out if somebody is compatible with you and if you want to pursue them in a serious relationship, if that's what you're looking for. And we're just going to assume at this point, that we're all, or that there's at least some people here that are looking for a long-term relationship. So in that process of vetting them to find out if they are compatible to you, at what point does intimacy happen? Does the intimacy happen as a part of the vetting process before you've decided to commit, or do you wait to have any type of intimacy of significance until after you're all determined, that's for me, I'm all in and going forward? I think that that piggybacks off of last week really good, and I want to know what your thoughts are on that.
Well, man, you sure went all in, no pun intended. Whew. First off,
Hey, I'm holding back. I am like so G-rated right now.
No, first of all, I want to thank you for educating me on the vetting process before the betting process.
That's very good.
Right?
I like that.
So, folks, I just figured out that vetting is the getting to know you process. I didn't know that. Christine is very intelligent, and she's so am I. But we speak different things intelligently, and she was talking about vetting. And then I'm saying something funny about vetting before betting, not betting, meaning should you jump right into the intimacy or should you getting to know you? So my answer to that is it depends.
It depends on what?
It depends. It
On what?
depends on a lot of things. It really does. You know, you go through stages in life. You go from sowing your oats as a teenager, and all you want to do is you don't care about vetting. You just want to, you're betting. You think you know the world, So you're getting down in the parking lot. You're getting down on the beach, wherever you can do it. Sometimes it lasts. That becomes your first love. Sometimes it becomes your last love. And then you backtrack and you vet. But you've already got a base because you're young. Maybe you're in school together, so you already know each other. So that makes me think that you do need to get to know each other a little bit because you meet a stranger. I meet a stranger off the street. I walk out of my house tomorrow. A girl walks tonight, and what girl walks by, and I lock eyes. She locks eyes. And we're like, hey, we start talking. I know nothing about this girl.
Right.
I might be super attracted to her, but I feel like I got to get to know her. Yes, I want her, maybe. Yes, she's, but you got to have some foundation, something. I'm not saying that I don't know what the timeline is, but.
See, and okay, so I don't know how to say that. Aroka Real Estate. He says sex compatibility should be figured out before you fully commit. 100%. That's what I think. I'm not sure what Chris is saying. You didn't really, because on the one hand, I feel like you're agreeing with us, and on the other hand, I'm not sure.
I'm both. That's why I say I'm on the fence.
Well, you can play it by ear. Every situation could be different.
That's what I'm saying. Like Aroka, I hope I'm saying that right. Sex compatibility should be figured out before you commit. Okay. So I think what you're saying is get to know the person. This is what I'm taking it. You get to know the person enough, leads to intimacy. If the intimacy is good, okay, then you have something to roll with to get into a compatible commitment. Does that sound right?
Sure. Sure.
Sure. That's it. Sure.
Sure. Like I said, I mean, I feel like, well, I mean, you said you're on the fence about it, and you are. And I think every situation is going to be different. Um, I I had a little bit of an aha moment in recent dating, and I was very fortunate to be on a date with Mike, and he is someone who who enjoys deep conversation like I do. So he was somebody that I could really bounce all my feelings off of as far as this goes. So I wasn't positive about. I mean, I knew that intimacy for me is one of the check boxes, like Mr. Fix It just said. It's another checkbox to check.
It is a checkbox,
It
definitely.
is. But like you're saying, Chris, I wasn't sure at what point in the process it should happen. And what I learned last night from talking to Mike extensively. I mean, we bounced off of each other. Like I would say something and he'd have the opposite, like throw back at me, like, well, what about this? I mean, and he was trying to understand where I was coming from. So we had a really good conversation where he really truly, I don't think, understood where I was coming from. And I mean, maybe the truth is, in the end, I wasn't totally positive either, because as we talked, I started realizing, I'm like, I just realized that I think in the past I have been deciding that intimacy wouldn't even begin until I already felt like I wanted a permanent relationship with the person. And then I was constantly getting hurt because they weren't on the same page. So what I learned last night is I need to discover, I need to get my boxes checked, make sure that I know this person, make sure that there's definitely something there, learn as much as I can about him. And then at some point, but before I've decided, yeah, I want to make this exclusive. Before that happens, I want to test the intimacy waters. Um, I want to see, do we have that intimate spark when we're together in real life and all of that?
Well,
Because if we don't, I'm not going to be like massively hurt.
well,
Um,
I agree with you. I mean, I'm definitely going to be considered bipolar on this entire subject.
I agree, Kathy.
Yeah, I agree with Kathy on both statements.
Well,
Why?
I don't on the first one, but I do on the second.
Well, that's why I'm saying I'm going to be bipolar, because emotional intimacy to me is extremely important. However, when you meet somebody, you look at somebody, something attracts you. Most likely it's something physical. That's why we have physical attributes. Okay. Not everybody, every pot's got a lid. So I think that you get to know the person. Now, chances are, if you're attracted to this person, you're going to want it. The vibe is fierce. You're sitting there, you're having a drink or a coffee, whatever you're having, and you're wanting to get closer to this person. When does it happen? I don't know, but I do feel there's either a mistake that's made or a promise that's made. The mistake is if you get intimate and it's for the wrong reasons, and then it becomes a disaster, and it either doesn't work or you just hinge this
which
relationship on intimacy
which is when it happens too soon.
way too soon.
Yeah.
Or you are so emotionally intimate and the conversation is good and the vibe is fierce and you're connecting where you're thinking about intimacy in the back of your head, but the frontal of your head is into the conversation and the person, but you're admiring them because you're attracted to them, and then it just happens. And then if that just happens, I feel that there's some kind of known commitment in the back of your heads that this person and I are going to spend some time together.
Well, and we sort of agree, because I believe that at the point in the vetting process that I would become intimate is when I have, at the very least, and it's really a lot, decided that, oh yeah, definitely this person could be, could be. But I haven't emotionally invested. I have definitely felt like, yeah, we can emotionally connect for sure. We've done it. We're good emotionally. We seem to be on the same page. Emotionally compatible. Communication wise, we're compatible. Uh, sexuality, because, and I need to sort of segue here for a second, a little bit. And a lot of the viewers that are your faithful viewers for years now don't know me, and I I am very I'm a very unfiltered person, guys. That's why it's called unfiltered.
That's
Okay.
why it's exactly.
Yeah. So I don't want to upset anybody. And I would never ever judge any of you for your decisions on when you're
Me
having
neither.
intimacy or or anything. But I am a person who, I mean, I'm a 63. I've been down this road. I have spent 2 years of doing nothing but introspective thought process on me. I have been my project. I know where I'm at. I had an aha moment last night, which was amazing because it's helped me get a little bit further in my journey. And uh, and I know that my that I have had an issue up until now with getting a little too emotionally ahead of myself. So I have invested a little too much of my heart,
But
and
it's
I
better
end
to,
up getting hurt.
don't you think? Now we got a lot of. First of all, Marianne, thank you for joining us. Monica, thank you
Correct,
for joining
correct,
us.
Mr. Fix It. You don't.
And
Lots of communication about sex beforehand. A lot of people don't like to do that.
I think that I'm reading Mr. Fixit's stuff, and for a man to be saying that, I'm proud of you to say that because you're outright saying you don't have to have sex to find out if you're compatible, and it's true.
It's because Mr. Fix It listens to me.
Well, alrighty then. But I didn't. I'm saying the same thing as him. I'm saying that emotional intimacy and intellect. Remember what I said about MEPA? Mental,
Yeah,
emotional, physical attraction.
yeah.
Right? That's my term. You have to. Although the attraction part, something puts you together, but then where does it go from there? You got to have some
Well, yeah,
emotional.
and when you're initially attracted, it's not necessarily to appearance either. You can sit down next to somebody and they don't attract you whatsoever in appearance, and then they start, kind of almost forcing a conversation on you, and then you relent and you start talking to them, and the next thing you know, you're like totally absorbed in this person, and you're like, why wasn't I attracted when I walked up? This is cool. This is,
Well,
and then
that's
all
the
of a sudden
thing.
you're a little attracted.
I've had that happen. I've
Yeah,
had that happen where I
I
was
have.
extremely attracted to the person. I thought they were going to be the one. I was like, this is in a lot of different ways. And then the conversation was like, forget it.
Yeah, it can go the other way,
They
100%.
can't get out of their own way at all.
Well, yeah, it's like what I told you about that friend of mine who dated the model, right? The Victoria's Secret model, and he thought,
Yes,
"Oh my Lord, I've done it. I've hit the jackpot. I'm marrying her. She'll be my trophy wife." And
my trophy wife.
yeah, and he got intimate with her. I don't think he regrets that at all, even though he did it before he knew her. He did it way before. He didn't vet her at all. He just went, "Beautiful. I gotta have it," and
That's where many of us make our first mistakes.
yeah.
My
So
mother's got to stay. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I'll raise, but my mother's got one statement, and I don't always follow it, but I think it's great. Am I beautiful because you love me, or do you love me because I'm beautiful? Think about that.
yeah, yeah.
Do you love me because you're hitting me, or are you hitting me because you love me?
Yeah,
And I'll put it point blank.
yeah, 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 and we've talked about this. I've talked about this so much in past podcasts. This is why you don't do what my friend did. You don't look at somebody and say, "You're gorgeous. I want to F you," and you do, and then you spend 2 weeks with them and go, "Man, this is a shell of a person. I'm not attracted to them whatsoever." Thank goodness you didn't run out to Vegas and get married the first night because you were so,
Now, how many people do that? This shell of a person, they're like, "Oh, I'll deal with that," because they want to get with them. Wrong. Unless you have a conversation with that person and it just becomes a physical relationship, it's wrong. People
yeah.
get led on through sex and intimacy.
Oh yeah.
A man
It
or a
muddies
woman.
the waters. It muddies the waters. It clouds the
Big
thinking. Like I
time.
said last week, it puts, goggles, like beer goggles on you.
Sure, it does.
You
Sure, it
don't
does.
see things clearly.
Well, it's like Kathy's saying. How long does it take for you to decide if you're attracted?
Yeah, but see, that question sort of makes me scratch my head because I don't know. I personally, and I'm just gonna let you handle this because I don't understand that question. It doesn't compute. So you go ahead. I want to hear this. I literally understand it. I don't comprehend it. So go ahead.
Well, listen, and here's the other thing. Talk about muddying the waters. You go on a date. You're attracted to this person, okay?
She says you don't know if you're attracted.
You
How long does it
oh,
take? How many dates to
how long?
find
Well,
out?
first of all, thank you, Rhonda. I don't know. The first thing is you go on a date. Most likely, if you're an adult, you're going to
Rhonda.
a bar, you're going to a restaurant. You're either going to have dinner or you're going to have a few drinks. To me, I'm sitting on a date, one martini down. Man, are you looking good?
Okay. Okay. We're not talking about that because you're
No,
going to
but I'm
wake up
saying,
tomorrow with a
but it's
hangover
no.
and you're going to be sober.
We have to because you're initially attracted. Now you're on a date. Now there's alcohol involved.
Yeah, but
or whatever.
I want to know the answer to Rhonda's question. I have something to say to it, but I don't want to say it because I don't comprehend the question, and that's part of my answer. So I want you to answer it, or can you not answer it?
Okay.
You know what question I'm talking about?
The question is what? How many?
After how many dates? She's actually dating somebody. After how many dates do you think it takes to decide if you're attracted to someone?
I think I don't see. First of all, when you initially meet somebody, there's an attraction. Something attract. You're forget about everything else. You're physically attracted to that person, most likely, right?
Go ahead.
No.
Go ahead. I have something to say so badly. Finish.
No, say it. I don't because you asked me a question. I'm trying. But go ahead.
No, I just saw her next question. I want you to finish so I can.
Anyway, she said 3 dates. You're attracted to this person physically, bang, bang. You have a date, great. If the emotional attraction comes in, you're so greatly attracted physically, mentally, both of you, all of you. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, then it boils down to respect and say, you know what, I want to wait with this person because I want to endure this person more.
I got to answer, Kathy. Kathy, my darling, sweet Kathy. Why are you dating this man? It would be my first question. I want to know, what was the point? Because I go out with a man because there's something that attracts me to him. I don't have a question as to whether I'm attracted. It might be a little bit. It's like a spectrum. I might be massively attracted. I might be a little bit. And I, as I've told you guys plenty of times, sometimes there is the tiniest attraction to something, and it might not even be a physical attribute. It might be something he said. It might be something he does for a living. I don't know. But there is something minuscule, at least, that I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that I am attracted to. So to say, how many dates does it take before you decide if you're attracted? You're not. And I want to know in all seriousness why you're going out with him, because I want to know, because I want to talk to you about that. I have stuff to say about this. So
I agree with you. I have to say I'm picking up what Christine's putting down, and I agree with her on this because Kathy, after 3 dates,
Kathy, he's not for you. Do you see what she just said?
That's where I'm going with this. He's not for you.
You see what she just said?
I didn't go down that far. It was
nice guy, respectful, but I just don't know. Not feeling the energy. I don't think maybe I need to drink. See,
no, you don't drink. No,
because Chris's point is accurate. You drink, he'll become attractive, and you get into a mess because you're going to get sober, and that's the point Chris was trying to make.
Okay, now on the flip side, I'll play devil's advocate just for a second. Okay, Kathy, you don't drink, you're not attracted. Maybe, or I don't know if you're not attracted or whatever. Maybe, like I've been, maybe you're too uptight, and I'm not insulting you, Kathy. I'm trying to say maybe you're just too tense, nervous, uptight. Maybe one drink might loosen you up and make you look at a different perspective. I'm not saying get drunk. I'm not saying he's the one. He probably is not the one.
Except you can't, and I know you didn't mean this, but all I was going to say was you can't live your life having a martini every night so that you can tolerate your mate, right? I know you didn't mean that, but you can't. Now she said something, and I want to say something. So she said, I was initially attracted. He is nice, kind, but not mentally stimulating. So I would say this, Kathy, see, that's why these questions had to be asked. You just gave me my answer. You were attracted to him. You said, how long does it take to find out if you're attracted? That actually was not an accurate question. You were already attracted.
So what happened? What attracted you to him, and when did it go wrong?
But she answered that. She said, that there was an attraction, but then he did, because he's nice and she was a little attracted to him, so she went out with him. Okay, that's fine, that's good, that's a good reason to go out with him. That's how you ended up there. But he did not mentally stimulate her. So I would say, how this is where you take inventory of your needs in a relationship. If mental stimulation is important to you, he is not the one. Don't play with this. You need your
Yes.
checkbox. You need your
Yes.
check boxes.
Yes.
And
I think
yours, it sounds to me like one of your top priorities is mental stimulation. And
yes.
don't settle. You will be unhappy. The fact that you are waffling all over the place, not knowing, when do I know? You don't want to let go of something that has potential because you were initially attracted. What happened? Why did I lose it? You answered the question. He didn't mentally stimulate you. Move on. You know what you need. You know what you need.
I agree with you guys, with you, Christine. The check boxes, we all forget. It seems like we almost forget our check boxes. Go on a date, be stern about your check boxes. No, if it takes 15 minutes or if it takes an hour, don't want and need something so bad
I
that you're
understand.
willing to do whatever.
Exactly. And read what Mike said. What Mike said is exactly it.
I agree.
Yeah, that is
And Mike,
exactly
I'm
it.
on board with you completely. I'll know like that. However, I've made mistakes where I've let it go way too far.
Oh yeah.
And we've all done that. And
Yeah.
and you're there for the wrong reasons.
Yep.
Again, a few drinks, whatever intimacy happens, you
Yep.
mistake those feelings for the wrong thing.
Yeah, that's why intimacy is such a mistake on the first date. Because, like Mike pointed out, I'm attracted to someone by the first date, because you have to, before the meet, you're like, well, I definitely could be attracted to this person, but are they what I see virtually? Are they that? So there's always that little stress factor that you're going to meet them and it's not going to translate to real life. Okay, but like Mike said, the first date comes and goes and you're like, okay, it's all cool, we still get along, I still see this person as attractive as I did, but now it's time to dig a little deeper, look at your check boxes and see, are they enough? Do they meet enough of my check boxes to sustain a happy relationship long term, if that's what you're looking for?
Now, you're usually I combat, but you're spot on. You're absolutely right with that. And I want to say hello to Virginia, who just logged onto the Facebook. Virginia Straub.
Hi, Virginia.
Virginia, I know personally is a widow. Okay, however, she met this man, and the man, he's a fabulous guy. And I look at them together, and they are clearly attracted to each other. They are clearly emotionally, physically, mentally, all that stuff attracted, and they're a great couple. And they're an older couple. Virginia's almost my mom. She's not quite my mom's age, but she's a little younger, and a beautiful woman. And they're great together. You see them; the chemistry is there. That's the way it should be.
Is there any age gap, or are they the same age?
I don't know that for sure. There might be a little bit. I'm not sure. But
Just
I have an
curious.
idea.
It really doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
I was just thinking because of our.
But and also fix it. I mean, not fix it. I'm sorry, Kathy. Spiritual is important as well.
Well, if it's important to you, again, Kathy, that's
right.
one of your checkboxes.
Right.
Yeah.
You've got to have that
Moni
energy.
is right on. Moni.
Totally
dead on. Exactly. That's what I was thinking. Never settle. Never settle. Never settle. I need to get that tattooed. Never settle.
That's right. You know what, Kathy? You might have your guard up. You might possibly be a little bit wound tight, because I am. I'm fed up with the entire scene, if you will. But you know what? You got to believe, and like Christine said, never settle. Go with your convictions. Have your check boxes, and listen. You're good. You are good. Somebody is out there for you. Somebody is out there for me. Somebody's out there for Christine. Somebody's out there for Fix It. So, like Moni says, don't settle.
Right.
Don't
settle.
Stick to your convictions, no matter what they are. Sorry,
yeah.
Christine.
So I was having that conversation with Shitless, and this was the first night we met, and we were talking. And, you know, we were talking about dating and all of that. And I could see in him, in the conversation, a part of him was kind of, I mean, I don't mean to misrepresent. So if I'm saying it wrong, you know, I apologize. But we've talked about this after the fact. So sorry, it's true. There was a part of him that was accepting that he may settle. And it broke my heart. I mean, it literally broke my heart. I looked at him and I'm just like, now here I am on this date with this guy and I like him. You know, I want him. You know, if everything's working out, I want him. But
Aw.
but I'm looking at him and I'm like, don't settle. You know, Lord, don't settle. Do not settle. You need to keep steadfast and find what you're looking for. Don't settle. Do no. And there's a lot of people out there who are getting out of long-term relationships and they're feeling very overwhelmed with the dating scene, and it's taking its toll on them, and they're looking around at the next best thing. Well, not the next best thing. They're looking around at what's in front of them, and even though it's not exactly what they want, and they might say the words, this person is not going to make me happy, and then the next thing you know, they're marrying them, you know, because they're afraid that they're going to be alone and they don't want to be alone. And I know it's scary, but you know, there's a community. Hey, we're here. We're not going anywhere, guys. And if you need lifting up or held, you know, we're here to do it. You are worth getting everything you want in a relationship. And here's the thing that I've come to understand is I did a lot of work on myself, as I said, and I love me and I am happy with me. I'm happy with my life. I want to find somebody to enhance what I already have, not to make me happy. Nobody makes us happy. It's not their job. You know, we have to be happy with who we are and where we are by ourselves. If there's a woman out there or a man that's looking for a partner to make them financially stable, to pay their bills, no, that's not why you should be looking for a relationship.
A guy or a girl is going to know that right away, though. I think they're going to feel and see through that. That's a
Maybe,
fake air.
maybe.
I
It
can.
depends. There are people out there, men and women alike, who put on such a good show that they've got their shit together and that they've got money or whatever, and not necessarily tons of money, but that they've got enough. They're financially stable. They're secure. They're taking care of themselves. They do not need you to take care of them. And it's not true. It's not true. But sometimes you get into the relationship because it is true, and then you find out that they're just going to spend all your money and they don't really care. So it's always a risk. But my
You have
point
to
is,
be.
don't settle.
You have to be your own psychologist, your own psychiatrist. I say you really have to look at this person and literally. We talk about checking boxes. Have an assessment. Have an assessment sheet in your head.
Yeah.
Look at this person and say, okay, I see this, I see this, I see this. This person is doing this. Why? Are they nervous? Are they try and find out without getting into the whole subject what their love language might be. Figure out, okay, do they need to be touched on the arm? Do they need to have you order their drink for whatever it is? Whatever
Hold the phone, Chris. Are you saying that people need to communicate and listen? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Go figure. Listen to the person that you want to be with so you can figure out what makes them feel good and give it to them. Because if you care about somebody, that's what you want to do, right? And Mike just said people do settle, though. If you can't be with the one you love, love the one you're with. And he's right.
Great
He's
song.
right. But no. And if I have to go find him every day of the week and smack him and tell him, back up upside the head or whatever, and tell him, do not settle, I will. Do not settle. You deserve more.
We've all done it. We've all settled.
Yeah.
We've all made mistakes. And let me tell you something. I know for one, I will never do that again. Never
Right.
in any situation.
Right.
You know,
I've had 3 marriages. And they were all, yeah, Chris, 3.
No, I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. I'm like, Jesus Christ, 3 marriages. Who's got dates? I haven't even been. I'm 53. I haven't even been married. What's going on here?
My last one was 23 years, but they all were wrong because I settled for for sort of virtuous reasons, especially the last two. The first one I was young, was what it was. But the last two were totally for my kids, which is absolutely the wrong reason. And I wish I could go out there and talk to all single mothers and be like, do not look for a man to be a father to your children and to support you.
Let me tell
No.
you, I have a friend of mine that's a single mother, and we actually dated for a little bit, but she became a good friend. And this girl, her son has some challenges. The father, I don't know if I'm giving up to, I don't want to get too personal, but long story short, she is very independent. She will not take a man. She will not take any relationship for the sake of having someone around for her son. Or this woman will do whatever it takes to make her son happy and whatever. So women, be independent, but don't be afraid of love. Men
There's a lot of women, young, it's almost always the young, unplanned pregnancy, women that are in a position where they feel they have no choice to do the right thing for their kids. They have to find a man who is willing to be a father and can support them. And especially if they can do that in the style where she can stay home and be a parent to their child, because they've ended up alone. And usually, a lot of times, like with me, it's through no fault of their own, and they're in a really bad situation. I made bad choices. Now, having said that, the second marriage was a very bad choice, and it hurt people horribly, lifelong scars. But the third marriage, for the same reasons, turned out okay, turned out good as far as the kids go. They had a dad that was willing and wanted to be there. They had stability. We became a normal family. We paid all the bills. We had all the food. We took all the vacations. We did all the stuff. They got their driver's license. They got their cars. We had a normal family. And that's because I made the wrong choice. And even though that all worked great for my kids, in the end, it didn't work. And I had to leave. So it's like, it's always going to catch up with you if you do it for the wrong reasons. It's always going to catch up to you.
It does. And at the end of the day, it will destroy you. It will take so much out of you.
It will. And I tell people you have to, if you can choose to be unhappy and stay, okay, that is fine. That is your choice, but shut the hell up.
Shut the front door.
Don't complain about it. You have made a choice. That was your choice. You have a choice to make. You can either stay and shut up and make the best out of it, or you can leave and figure it out.
Okay, but now wait a minute. When you say stay and shut up or make the best of it, we can't misconstrue people. You can't stay and shut up. Let me try and rephrase.
I don't mean in the relationship. I mean, shut up with your complaining. Shut up with your being unhappy. Shut up with your wanting out. No, you don't. You want to stay. You've made that choice. You want to stay. So that means it's time to work on this relationship and accept it for what it is. Shut up. Deal with it. Figure out a way to be happy with what you have, because it's your choice to stay.
But I think society has done that to us.
I agree, Monica. Agree. Yes.
See, I'm not even looking at the prompter. I'm paying attention to the conversation. See, Monica, what did she say?
She said that I have settled and made mistakes. We have to give yourself some grace.
You do have to give yourself grace, and I've done it. We've all done it. And you have to realize that neither party is bad.
What Mike said.
I don't.
He said, "I am done. I'm done settling. I only go after women who are out of my league. Aim high, fellas." Why not?
Oh boy, I know a little bit about a little bit, but all right. So now I lost my thought. Anyway, so Mike, you're killing me. You're messing the shit out of me. You're making me shitless. I can't think. So anyway, I don't know. Where we going?
What were you going to say, Chris?
I don't know.
You were talking about giving ourselves grace.
Give yourselves grace. Okay? Be confident in your own skin. Don't be afraid to be alone. Okay? When you meet that person, don't try and fabricate something that isn't there. Be real. Be true. Be diplomatic. What I got was getting at before when Christine cut me off, which I'm usually cutting her off.
I know. I knew I did too.
When I was saying about being your own psychiatrist, meaning look at this person and say, okay, Are they scared? Are they holding back? Is there a real, you trust your gut. Our gut's there for a reason. If the conversation is slightly awkward, okay, but your gut's telling you and attracting you somewhere, that's when you give it those extra chances. Okay. And I'm not saying intimacy, loosen the top a little bit. Let it go, whatever it takes. Look into that person, follow your gut. Okay.
Yeah.
2-3 times, I don't know. Don't overdo it. And then go from there. Because people are scared. People are uptight. People are tense. We all have issues in our own way. And we're all, some of us can go out. And if I go out with a girl and she's like a party girl, hey, let's go, blah, 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 I'm going to be, wait a minute. That's a little bit too much for me. I'd rather, she could make everything nice and comfortable, but then when do we refine it?
And I'm sure you run into that a lot because of what you do, because the majority of, especially what you like to do, as far as not your day job, but your night job,
right.
You're in a place where, you might be more apt to possibly meet people who want to stay up all night partying.
Yeah, I see it. I see it a lot. I see these men and women that are out there all the time, party, party, party. And it's great. I mean, listen, life should be a party. Like, it's a short run, but.
Okay. We're getting off of what the topic is, though. And we always do this, which is good because, yeah, it just, generates conversation. But I do want to kind of get back to intimacy, because it wasn't just, is there a time in the checkoff list? I think we all agree there is. Although I think some people on the podcast probably think no, because I saw somebody said no intimacy until you have the commitment. So for that person, they disagree with my whole, the checklist and intimacy being part of the checklist. And that's fine. That's fine. Everybody is different. For me, I believe the intimacy first, it's conversation, intimate conversation. I want to know kind of early on that we're on the same page. And I started alluding to this earlier when I said, all the people that are fans of Chris, followers of Chris, you don't even, know who I am. You don't know my background. But I, like I said, I am an unfiltered person. I am not, what do I want to say, Chris? You know what I'm trying to get at. How do I say this? So I don't want to offend anybody, but I am an out there kind of person. I'm an out of the box.
Keep going, and I don't want to interrupt you. I want you to fumble like I fumble a little bit.
Oh, I was looking for a little help. But I'm a little out of the box. So I'm not asking you to, and I'm never asking you to agree with me. I mean, you don't need to.
What are you saying? You want to know when is it right to have sex? Point blank.
I know when it is for me, and that is a question that's different for everyone. I'm curious what everybody else thinks.
But are we going into a relationship to have sex, or are we going into a relationship to find our person, or are we going into a relationship to find our person and have great sex?
Correct.
What's your box?
C is mine. C is mine. And you're right. You're right. It's A, are you just looking for your person and that's your priority? You want to connect on an emotional level. And
companion, partner, booty call.
No, huh?
Companion, life companion. Maybe there's no sex. Partner, which is all, or booty call, which is just sex.
Yeah. For me, my priorities are a sexual compatible person and my person in every way, a well-rounded, but sex is at the top. A lot of people look at that and say, not a lot of people, I gotta say, not a lot of people, but there are people who look at that and say, well, sex isn't the most important thing. And okay, I get that. It's not for you. And it doesn't make me a horrible person, because for me and for a lot of people out there, sex actually is a very important thing. And especially when you get older, those are questions you have to ask if it is important to you. And again, I don't want to offend anybody that doesn't believe this way, but I do. And so So, and I prefaced this because what I was going to say was a conversation, a verbal, long conversation about your sexual preferences, what you like, how things happen, what you expect, all the stuff, all the stuff
So,
needs to
okay.
happen. And that
All right.
happens well before the intimacy. I
So,
wouldn't even get intimate with anybody until I
first,
find out stuff like that.
first off, I want to say hello to Linda. Linda Zaccarone just joined us, and she said, I have to turn my head for a second. You can't make a choice to be in a relationship looking for happiness. Your happiness has to come from within yourself, which I agree with you 100%, Linda.
Yep.
David Zarakor, David says, just be happy, stay well, stay you.
Yep.
Very true.
Yep.
And now, just to acknowledge them, go back to what you were saying, Christine. There's two factors here for me. When is it appropriate to be intimate? When is it appropriate to have that conversation?
Okay.
Like, and I've been in. I got to cut you off. I've been in conversation. I've been on dates with women. Okay, and the conversation is like hot and sexy because you're attracted to each other. You're talking openly about whatever, like, hey, baby, whatever it is, because you're attracted to each other. You're negating the important stuff. That's taking precedent. So, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I do.
There's times where you're talking and then you're nervous to talk about that stuff because you really like the person. So when do you introduce that?
Yeah. So,
you know what I mean?
So I have talked to men about this over the years so much because one of the first things men say when I say that spiel that I just did about the conversation about sexual appetite, preference, and all of that has to happen before you get intimate. And they're like, how the hell do I do that? If I try to have a conversation with a woman like that, she's going to get up and leave. And I'm like, whoa, okay.
I actually think that's the truth.
I do. And Chris, you know what I got to say about that? I hope the hell she does get up and leave if that's how she feels, because that is not someone you want to be with. If you have if sex is so important to you that you want to have this conversation and she's not even willing to have it, how is that relationship going to be good down the line when you have a problem that has to do with sex and you want to talk to her and you want to get intimate in the conversation and she doesn't like those conversations?
Well, there's two types of sexual conversations. There's your intimate conversation that you're looking for, and then there's that sexy conversation which could happen leading to the intimacy.
I know. I'm not
Okay.
talking about that, which is what you were talking about before. You've been on a date and having all that sexy, flirty conversation that sounds like it's leading you to the bedroom. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about an actual conversation where, okay, for example, Mike and I had this conversation for days before. Well, actually, not days. We talked a lot about just,
TMI.
I am what?
We don't need to know how long, how much,
how long we talked.
No,
I said talked. I said we talked for days before we actually got to a conversation about sexual desires and appetites. Okay. But it was strictly a conversation. See, you're totally misunderstanding what I'm saying. We talked for a few days anyway. We actually talked for quite a while on the app, and just stuff. Who are you? Just all the stuff. Nothing, honestly, nothing intimate of an intimate nature.
Okay, good. Okay.
And then when we knew we were going to meet, okay, it was about 2 days before, then we started talking and asking each other questions. And we didn't get into all the meat of it, all the thick of it. So when we met in person, we continued the conversation and we asked things about our past relationships, because I do like to talk about past relationships because as long as it doesn't make you uncomfortable. And I'll be honest, if it makes a person uncomfortable, that person's probably not for me, because I need somebody who is over their shit and has no problem talking about it, that they don't feel like I'm trying to drag up their past to, no, that's not it. You can learn a lot from a person by talking to them about their past experiences, romantic and otherwise. You just can't.
Yes.
So I like
to. So we overdo that conversation. You don't want to overdo it because
you just want to have it. You just want to have it. You just want to open the door and say, so tell me this or whatever. And you do. And then we moved into more of the intimate questions. And we talked about that, and we talked quite a bit about it.
So do you feel that segues, or is it something you bring up? Do you let it naturally occur?
It
Or do
doesn't,
you?
I don't think it, it can naturally occur, especially if you are talking about past relationships. So if you're sitting there and you're talking to each other, like there's a question I like to ask about, um, so if you could take any of the good stuff from your past relationships, any of them, that you want in a new relationship, and any of the bad stuff that you don't ever want again, what would they be? So that kind of question, I'm not asking them to divulge, all the nitty gritty, dirty laundry of their relationship, but I am asking them what, your relationships have helped to define you into who you are. And so I'm pretty sure you have a really good idea of what you like and what you don't like because of your relationships. So tell me what those things are. And they do. And that can segue. That can segue. That could be a natural segue into, oh, okay, well, tell me more about that. Because one of the things that they may say that they don't like, a lot of times this will be it. A man or a woman could say, loss of intimacy. I will never have another relationship that has a loss of intimacy.
I
And
agree.
that you can segue right into, well, let's talk about that. What does that look like? Let's find out if we're on the same page. Maybe I'm okay with once a week or once a month. What
Well,
does
again,
that look like to you?
Sandra, welcome to the show. And she made a good point. At what point, it's kind of what I'm saying, does that conversation come up? There has to be some. Is there a natural segue? Or you're like, so that was a great steak tonight. I tell you so. How are you in bed?
Yeah, see, that's ridiculous.
Like,
That's
I don't
ridiculous.
know. Like, where does it? How do you segue?
Okay,
Is
Chris,
there
I have a
emotional?
question. How do you tell me that you've had dates where you've had flirty, crazy, sexy conversation with a woman and it's headed to the bedroom, but you can't fathom how to
Because
have
there's
a
two different types.
but you can't fathom, I'm going to finish. You can't fathom how to have an adult freaking relationship about what sexual intimacy looks like to you in a good relationship.
Okay, there's two different types of conversations. Your conversation, I'm not.
Obviously.
I'm
Now,
not really sure I've even had that type of conversation that you're
an
talking
adult conversation about,
about. I've had
and
adult conversations,
I'm not surprised. A lot of people don't have it. A lot of people do not have those conversations.
but the flirty conversations happen.
That's because you've been doing that since you were a teenager.
That's my point. I'm saying that people take that as the conversation you're talking about. I like what you're saying about the
No.
intelligent, intimate conversation about
Adult.
intimacy,
Adult.
adult conversation. But at what point? How does that come up? You have not been intimate with this person. I've had people, or I shouldn't say I've had people, I've heard, and I know people are intimate, and all of a sudden they want to talk about it after and say,
Okay.
hey.
Yes. Such a bad way to do things. Let me ask you something, Chris. This is going to be very uncomfortable for everybody, especially you, Chris.
That's what we do.
Oh, freaking Mike is going to just make fun of me because I lost my train of thought.
Yeah.
Dang it.
I did it before.
Dang it.
All right,
It was
Sandra,
so good.
Sandra, why are you confused? Sandra, what we're saying, I'm going to try and recap this. Sandra, Christine, I almost forgot your name. Christine. Christine
I was
is
going to put you on the hot seat.
You are, I know it. Do you want me to stop because you remember?
No, keep going. I'm going to
Are you
remember.
having a
When I
moment?
do, I'm interrupting you. Go.
Now I forgot. Christine, what Christine's trying to say is you have to have a serious conversation about intimacy with a partner that you could potentially be intimate with. You have to have the connection and you have to have this extended conversation. How long does that go for? When does it happen? When does intimacy happen? And should it all happen? When do you decide if it's going to happen? No?
Okay, I'm not sure that this is what I was going to ask per se, but I have something that I want to know. I'm going to ask you, Chris.
Okay.
I want you to be honest.
Do you want me to lie to you? I don't lie.
People might get shocked because of the question.
Remember, my mother could be watching.
That's okay. This is adult content. I don't mean it in a bad way. I mean, we're all adults. We can handle this. What does, or no, I won't say that. Are you looking for a relationship that includes a healthy, active, fun, adventurous sex life?
Of course, absolutely.
Okay,
Who wouldn't?
you don't have
Absolutely.
to go.
And you know
Don't have
what?
to
If
go
my mother
further than
was
that.
sitting here, I would tell her
You
right.
don't have to go further
Absolutely.
than that. Stop.
Absolutely.
I have more to say, and you're going to make me forget it. Okay, so I knew that you were going to say yes because I know you. Okay, so Chris, if you cannot imagine, okay, no, what kind of woman do you think is going to fulfill, going to be that woman who's going to be that at 50 years old, is going to be that wanting of a adventurous, fun, active, let's have sex in the kitchen today, let's have sex in the bedroom tomorrow, let's do it twice, who is going to be that? What kind of woman are you seeking besides your check boxes, which are very important? What kind of woman?
I feel that if you are attracted to each other, I'm going to say it again, mentally, emotionally, and physically,
That's not
it's
what I'm
going to
talking
work.
about. That's not what I'm talking about,
I'm a
because
little
yes,
lost.
those things are important. I'm saying, what kind of woman do you think? Okay, I'll stop beating around the freaking bush. I'm trying to get you to answer this. You're not going to. The type of woman that is going to meet that sort of a sexual appetite. Sorry, people, but the kind of woman that is going to meet that sort of a sexual appetite is going to be a woman that you can have this adult, almost clinical conversation with, and she is not going to get mad at you. She's going to welcome it. She's going to be like,
I agree
yes.
with you. I agree. All I'm asking is, when does that happen?
I already told you. I told you by example that Mike and I did it on our first date. Now, we did talk a little bit before about other things. Okay, so you have to prime that. You got to prime that pump.
That could be intimate. That could be your good conversation. It doesn't matter if it's about the intimacy or politics. That could be your good conversation that connects you. It's still intellectually stimulating if you use it that way, and it connect. No,
I don't know. I don't know what you're saying.
I'm saying that conversation that you're saying to have about intimacy and sex and everything else,
okay,
can be a good conversation. If that's how it goes to start, that's part of your. If you connect and can have that conversation,
it's an amazing
off to a
conversation.
good start.
Yeah, no, it's an amazing conversation, and that's what I'm saying. If you get real with yourself, and say, this is what I want, this is the kind of person I want, this is the kind of woman that's going to fulfill me, I'm going to be happy with her, and I'm never going to look at anybody else because she is the yin to my yang. And you know that perfect person for you includes somebody that's highly sexually active. She wants an active sex life. Then that woman, Chris, that woman is not going to be offended by wanting to have that conversation. That woman is going to want you to delve into it. Now, there's different ways to get into it. You don't have some people, they're like, so again, you got another spectrum. You've got people who are this way, who's going to fulfill that in you, but they may not be too used to having somebody bluntly talk to them about it. Even though they're okay with it, they might not have had it before. So you're going to want to take that easier. And then you've got people who, like me, a guy can ask me anything. I'm never going to get offended. I might not, even if I didn't like it, I'm not going to get offended. I'm not going to get up and walk away. I might tell him, yeah, you kind of lost me there. I'm really not interested.
You're a strong personality. You're a dominating personality. You're, matter of fact, you're educated. You're strong with your convictions. So you have no problem saying that, talking with that to someone. Okay.
Right. Like I said, everybody's different. You got to read the room. You got to know how to go in.
Right. Literally.
Yeah.
But with that being said, how do you have that conversation? Now you're having that conversation that gets to that point. That conversation could also lead to mixed feelings about, hey, turning each other on, having this conversation, and you're missing all the other stuff.
No, it's going to turn you on.
Of course.
It's going to. I mean, come on, we're adults. We know it's going to. There's nothing wrong with that. Here comes the point of you saying, at what point in the vetting process do you get intimate? So you have to expect, when you have the conversation, it's going to turn you on. You want it to. You want to know that you guys are vibing that way, that you, as a man who wants a woman like this, you are going to be very satisfied with a woman who will actually interact with you and have that conversation without wanting to storm out of the room. You don't want.
How would you start it? How would that conversation be segued?
You mean like cold? Like cold?
Hey, I really like cold beer and hot women.
You know how I used to do it? You know how I used to do it? I used to play the 20 games, the 20 question game. And I would
This
now
is not a date.
maybe no, before we meet, when we're still in that texting phase,
Okay,
so
okay.
you've set a date for Saturday, but it's Wednesday. And you're like, "Hey, if you don't mind, can we keep texting? Because I would like to get to know you a little bit via text. No pressure. You don't have to answer fast or anything. Just, can we, and she'll be like, "Yeah, yeah, I would love to hear from you. Yeah, we could do that." So then you say, maybe later that day, you say, "Hey, you want to play a game? There's this 20 question game, which I think is great to get to know each other." And you
Let
do.
me try that.
Yeah, and the questions start out with your questions being, if you could build your dream home anywhere in the world, where would it be? You know, if your dream home, what would it be? Would it be a ranch style? Would it be a two-story? If you could live in the mountains or just those, what's your favorite car? And then eventually, I'm promising you more than a 50-50 chance that one of you is going to start segueing a little bit into more intimate questions. Because you can
Probably.
say this, huh?
Probably. I
Yeah.
agree.
I mean, you can say, okay, what's this one's kind of out there, but what's the craziest place you ever had sex? You know,
That's no question. But now
but the point is, it's a harmless question.
it
And
is a
she's
harmless
not going to,
question.
that's what you want to do. You're asking me, how do you do it cold? And I'm saying you want to do that because you're going to test the water. Is she going to be like, oh, wow, okay, that's a little intimate? If she does, then you're going to be like, okay, I better take it really slow with this one or you're going to say, ooh, she might not have the same mentality as me. Let me keep checking this out, you know.
Well,
Um,
now she could take that the wrong. Now, if I said this to a girl, hey, what's the craziest place you ever had sex?
Again, you've
I
asked like
guarantee you, the next line is that what you want? Is that what you're thinking about?
this is
Guarantee it.
okay. You know
Guarantee it.
what, Chris? Do you want that woman?
What's
I
that?
say, I say, thank God you heard it and move on. Do
Well,
you
what if
really
she's
want?
a really nice, respectable girl that's crazy in the bedroom, but just
Wow,
felt offended by that question?
wow. Okay,
Well, I'm being devil's advocate here. What
I
if
don't,
she really
I
is?
don't
What if she
agree.
really? What if she really would have? You know,
Agree Agree to disagree. I don't think she's going to say that to you. That's a woman with issues. That's a woman who believes all men are looking for something, one thing, and she was just waiting for you to drop the other shoe. Now, maybe
could
your
be.
example wasn't great. Uh, but now, if she replied in a teasing way, if she like answered the question and said, "So is that the only thing you want? Is that what's on your mind?" That would be different. I would totally take that every day and Sunday, however they say it. I would take that and I'd be like, "No, I just thought I'd ask." Seemed like a kind of harmless, fun question, and you can keep having a conversation. If she freaks out on your ass, come on, Chris, you
I've
want a
seen it
woman.
both ways. I've seen. So
I
I
know,
never.
but do
I
you
got to be
want
honest with you.
someone who's gonna freak the f out on you over this?
I'm not sure what you actually agree with, Kathy and Sandra. So maybe put that in your comments. I've
I
said a
think they're
bunch of stuff.
saying they agree that a woman might respond that way.
Okay, they might respond that way. Now,
They could,
so
yes.
so if a
I
woman
agree too.
responds that way, and maybe she's not yelling at me, she'd be like, "So is this what you're looking for? Is this what you're
Okay,
all about?" Or do, and then
nothing
maybe
wrong with
I
it.
ruin a good opportunity with a good woman
Why
that
would
might
that
be.
ruin it? If she's in a rational way saying to you, "So, Chris, is that what you're on about? Is that really all you're looking for?" All she did was ask you a question. You answer it. No, no, not at
Well, then
all.
I got to come back and say no,
No, I
but I
was just
really would
telling you.
like to know because it's
No,
fun
no,
and
no, no,
flirty.
no. I was answering you. And what you say is something like, oh, no, not at all. I was just playing the game. I was just playing the game. We had asked a lot of questions about homes and cars. And I just thought it was a silly question. We could just move on. And you just move on with a different question. You just get past it. If she's acting rational, that's easy. It's
Well, I
when they
just said
act.
she was acting rational, but you said that would be a red flag right there.
Absolutely not. You did not. You said when you said it originally, you said it like she was freaking out on you. If she's freaking out on you, I'm
No, I
saying
didn't say she was freaking out. I'm saying
when
she
you
would say, "Is that all you
when
want?"
when you clarified it to me that she's not freaking out, she's just asking, you said it in a totally different tone. With that, I would 100% say, oh yeah, no, Absolutely not. I mean, I can answer that. You get stuck with that problem, you just ask me. I'll tell you exactly what to say. That's easy. Next
So
thing
you know what,
you'll
Christine? The next date that I go on, I'm going to come to you and talk about the conversation. Women do want to be respected, Kathy, just like you should be respected. Abby should be respected. Sandra and everybody else out there should be respected, as well as you, Christine.
yeah.
Okay. And at 8 o'clock, we've respectfully ran out of time.
Yeah, but I do want to point out that if a woman responds to you in a calm, rational way that she didn't like what you said, there is nothing wrong with that. That is absolutely fine. And you did nothing wrong. She did nothing wrong. And you will move into going back into some other conversation. You'll say, so do you like to fly? We don't, I understand what you're saying. And I'm sorry. I thought it was an innocent question, but cool. So
So, you're part of the Mile High Club.
no, you don't do that. You just ask her, so where's your favorite vacation spot? You move on to another question. I mean, see, you guys are all getting really bent out of shape that I'm saying that women should be disrespected. And I'm not. I'm actually saying that men who have, and women who have a certain desire need to know they're with the right person. And the one thing they don't want to do is get to the point where they get committed with their heart and their mind. And then they go and they get intimate and they find out that they're not on the same page, because that man or that woman is going to be very unhappy. And then everybody's going to get hurt.
I have to say, I do agree with Christine on that the conversation has to be in depth and matter of fact.
I am not backpedaling.
No, she's not back. Kathy, she's not backpedaling. She's been steadfast the whole time, and I'll tell you why. She's saying have the conversation. It's important. Check your boxes. Make sure this person is checked. Is your box, whatever,
Yep.
and go from there. In my case, if we're having that game conversation and I say that to the woman and she says that all you're looking for, don't be so harsh on her right away.
Don't be harsh at all.
Change the conversation, see where it goes. But
you
keep that in the back of your head.
You apologize to her for doing it.
Right.
You tell her you got a little carried away with the game or whatever, and you apologize and you move on to a different question.
And then she might like that, and then she might come back and say, okay. And then she might say, well, this guy is good, and then she might parlay into it.
She might, but there's no, I mean, you guys need to remember, we started the conversation with me asking Chris what kind of woman he's looking for in the sexual department. So all of these, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to go back into the whole thing, but I absolutely am not backpedaling 100%.
No, you're not. No, I got to say 100%
believe in what I say. Being a woman who is this way, I would not be offended by any of it. I respect the fact that Sandra would be and would not date him. And that's, you know what, Sandra? Here's what I got to say to that. Don't you want the man to say something like that to you? Because I don't know who it was. I think it was actually Mike said, at some point they're going to take the mask off. Don't you want them to take the mask off in the beginning before you commit, before you invest your heart in the slightest bit to them? Wouldn't you rather a man show you his self, show you his ass, show you who he is, which we're going to do a podcast on that. Believe them when they say who they are. Believe them. So if a man starts talking sexual to you, give him the boot. He's not for you. I would rather have a man say something to me in a 20-question game that I find inappropriate, and that is totally unacceptable to me. So I'm going to say, hey, we're done. I'm going to move on.
And that brings me to...
Sorry, I would rather have that happen before I'm invested and everybody gets hurt and you're trying to figure out how to end it.
And that brings me to what I said about trust your gut. You'll know if someone's just trying to play you and get that sexual vibe going with you versus being a real person.
Yeah, Sandra, what Sandra said, 100%. Well, not 100%. Sometimes you can't tell. I've had guys totally lie to me. So, and I didn't know. And that is a risk you take. We've talked about that. There is always an inherent risk to dating that you're never going to get away from. But you can do your best. You can vet the best you can. And I'm sorry if people don't like it. We're all different. But
yes,
some people want sex to be one of their top 3 priorities in a relationship. And if they do, they have to find out if you do. And Sandra, respectfully between all of us talking here, that's not what she wants. She does not want a man who's going to come out talking about that. That is not what she's looking for. That doesn't mean she doesn't want a healthy relationship. It means that she doesn't want a man that sex is that high on his list, that he's so willing to just come out and be like, hey, let's have this talk.
Kathy,
and that's good. That's good.
Kathy, what Christine is saying, exactly that. Be open to having an intelligent, intimate conversation about your sexual desires and your relationship desires.
If you want it.
If you want it, and if that person wants it, so that the air is clear, you're on the same page, and that point you can get to know each other on a deeper level and know you're on the same path.
Yeah, and Kathy, what I was trying to say right now is just being a woman, if you don't want a man talking to you like that, if you see that as disrespectful, then aren't you happy that he did it so early in the conversations? Wouldn't you be happy to see that this is a person you're not interested in and to be able to move on?
But be able to shut it down and decide if that person is good or not, and they maybe made a mistake. So don't be so quick.
Right.
To just use your gut. Trust your instincts and know what you're doing.
Yeah. And because sometimes even the woman who responds in a negative way from hearing that, if she seems like it's somebody that really checks all your boxes and you feel like, you want to give her the grace and space to show you who she is. So you do. But maybe she's going to just shut you down and say, I'm not interested. And that's what we're there to do. We're there to meet people who we're compatible with. You guys are not, the majority of you are not compatible with the kind of person I am. And that's okay. We're not going to date. It's okay.
Qualify it quick.
Yeah, I just don't. Okay, the people who aren't putting sex as a big priority aren't going to agree with that because that's not their priority. And that is the difference between us. That is not a person who would be compatible with me. If we're on opposite ends of this, that's because we're not compatible with this. And the same thing with a man and a woman. If you don't agree on these things, if you're at odds over these things, you're not compatible. It's just that easy. And that's the perfect.
I think Christine said it the best when she said, check your boxes, know what you want, go for it ahead of time, and accept nothing less than that. And what I said, trust your gut and know. If you
see what Mike said. He said, nothing ventured, nothing gained. If sex is important to you, you're going to have to ask some sex-related questions just at some point. If they don't have an adult conversation about sex, they're not for you. And that's exactly what I'm trying to say. They're not for you, and that's okay. That doesn't mean they're assholes. That doesn't mean they're disrespectful to you. You're not compatible. And that man, sometimes they are being disrespectful, but it doesn't mean they are. They might not be. They might just know what they want, and that's part of what they want. So let's all respect each other and just be able to look at someone and say, you're not for me, so I'm going to bow out.
I agree.
Does that so often.
Ladies and gentlemen, what do we think, Christine?
I think this was really good.
I think we got a great audience. I think you're great. I think sex is great. Sex is natural. Sex is fun. Sex is best when it's one-on-one.
And I think all of you guys are awesome with your comments. Absolutely awesome. I respect all of you, and I hope we all find exactly what we're looking for.
Yes.
However we do that.
Yes. And while you're doing it, stay caffeinated from our sponsor, Beachwater Coffee, beachwatercoffee.com. Get the best roast from coast to coast. Christine will be getting a package soon. She'll let you know what she thinks. And I've already got my package. I love it. I drink it every day. So does Owen. And Christine, let me tell you, I think you should go and take the test and flip out and be a relationship psychiatrist.
I don't want to go to school. I'll just stay here and keep talking. I'll just keep talking to people who want to listen, if that's all right.
Oh boy! Well, apparently.
Thank you, Kathy. Thank you, Kathy. Thank you, Sandra. Thank you, Monica, Mike, all of y'all for contributing. It was great.
Absolutely. Stay tuned, and you can email us both realtalkwithchristine@gmail.com and realtalkwithchrisanthony@gmail.com. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, anything you want to just say hi, please email us. We'd love to see them. And go on to YouTube, like the YouTube, hit the little bell so you get notifications, and So see you Thursday at 7 p.m. We come on a little bit earlier, about 6:45. We just talk smack before we make the big attack. And we'll see you in your streams.
All right, guys. See you Thursday.
Good night, everybody. Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you, Christine.